when it comes to investment clubs, and I always try to emphasize this, is everything to do with maximizing people's money in a long time possible, given what investment decision you are making. So as a club, you have to, I do not know if as a club you have ever sat down and come up with a strategy to say, at the end of the day, we are trying to invest this money for 5, 10, 15 years. Then at the end of the day, then you have to say by the 15th year, or by the 10th year, or by the 5th year, we should have made a significant return or double the people's money by this March. That should be the guiding principle. Before you even come up and say which investment product should we go in, it goes a long way when as an investment club, you have an investment strategy. I've seen very many investment clubs that start off in a very good camaraderie, but they struggle at one point because they didn't sit down to come up with a very good defined investment goal and strategies and ambitions. And some of those ambitions end up driving what you end up having to do. For example, before even going into the different products that you can invest in as an investment club, I'm going to take a little bit of some 2-3 minutes to explain this. When you sit down as members of a club and as investors in this particular club, you have to sit back and say, what do we want to achieve? What are we going to task our leaders, Mark, to achieve for us in 5 years? After 5 years or 3 years, what is going to be his KPIs, our assessment? Now, because it's an investment club, at the end of the day, his KPI should be on the investment return he has brought to you. 2, what kind of businesses can we go in as a group and make money from? Many investment clubs do not know. They start off from a position of a savings group. And because it's a savings group, they sometimes are unwilling to even take certain risks they can even maximize growth from, because they have not defined what kind of acceptable risks they have to take on. So that ends up making them leave a lot of money on the table. You can see it for the clubs, you can see it on many clubs out there, that they have significant amount of money in almost unity trusts and land. They have not yet defined. Yet to some extent, you might sit down and be like, wait a minute, we are an investment club, that we have a certain skill sets, that we can even start a business that is going to be funded by the investments of the investment club, but take advantage of the skill sets we have as a company. Now, I do not know if that's yours, but at the end of the day, it's possible. And then 3, you have to sit back and say, in 10 years, are we going to remain in simple, risk-free or less risk investments, or are we willing to take a little bit of more risks? And what should it be? And when you define these early, they go in to guide the leadership on what to do. For me, when I'm talking to investment clubs, the first thing I always want to kind of help significantly, and this might not kind of bring it out, but I want when the time comes, is to sit down with the leadership and say, let's develop your investment strategy that feeds into your investment goals, that every member knows every 2 to 3 years, these are the achievements we must do. That we have to be in a position to say, in 5 years from now, we must be at $1 billion investments. If we reach in 5 years and we have not yet achieved that, we must hold Alex accountable. Why haven't we achieved that? Is it that we lost members? Is it that we did an investment that didn't go well? What lessons have we learned from them? We need to have that introspective review of the whole business plan. Investment clubs are not, they shouldn't be so much a savings group of like merry-go-round. I don't know if you have been ever heard of merry-go-rounds. We correct to give to next one like that. There should be a little level of accountability. Then when it comes to 10 years, have you ever thought that maybe, and this is an idea I personally have, but have you ever thought that certain investment clubs have the potential to establish some of the best teaching hospitals possible? How? But they can't do it in the first 2-3 years. Some investment clubs have doctors in them. And when you think about it, they say, okay, in 15 years, we are 30, we are doctors. In 15 years, we might have our own hospital or clinic or something of a real business. But to even do that, that might even be possible to say, we might even want to buy land for it right now. Then you go to Kapeka, you go to Bombo, you go to Masaka, you go to Jinja, you go to Mbarara, you go to Iganga, you go deep, where you know right now to buy the land is cheap. But 15 years from now, it will be the perfect opportunity for us to start. The hospital want to start, the clinic want to start, the farmers want to start, the school want to start. But it means the leadership has sat down and come up with a vision that is beyond what can be seen, but willing to work that way. Now, coming back to where most of this conversation always ends up is, even when you are to enter and buy treasury bonds, and I'm literally advising investment clubs to move majority of their money from unit trust to bonds, you end up having to say, which type of bonds should we buy? As a group, you have to sit back and say, we have